So I'm on vacation and obviously not in the studio today. And I thought this would be a good time and moment to talk about how our environment can shape our body and create more or less movement. And why is it that we often feel so stiff in our bodies? And what can you do about it? Now, one of the reasons stiffness starts to occur in the body is simply because of lack of movement. And we have all this interconnected tissue through the body, the fascia, that if your body is not moving, it sort of starts to web together tighter and tighter until it becomes immobile. It starts to fuse all the motion that could be available there. And so the way you break that up and relieve some of that stiffness is through motion. And another way that you can do it is actually through this something that's often not thought about or only thought about as a luxury, which is massage. So the pressure of massage helps really break up some of that fascial tension to create more motion in all the tissues. It also is great for your lymphatic system and helps really lubricate the tissues of the body as well. So you can get that on your own by giving yourself massage. You can go get a regular massage, or you can also look at real specific tools you can play with, like a little rubber ball, foam roller, or a little mini ball to give yourself little deeper massages. And why is that? Why do you need to do that? It's because there's certain parts of our body that don't really move very well on their own. One example is like the joints all in your feet are really designed to be deformed and moved around by the uneven surfaces in the ground. And the same thing happens in the midsection in our torso. Our rib cage, we have all these intercostal muscles that can help move the ribs, but they don't get a lot of motion on their own most of the time, especially in our modern day life. So here's a couple exercises I like to play with. One is often, you can take a tennis ball or something harder. This is a lacrosse ball. And just mobilize the bones of your feet by stepping onto it and holding that for a while. For the ribs, I love something like a foam roller because you can actually lay sideways over a foam roller or on your back as well. But the sideways is great as you kind of just let your body drape over it and roll slowly through the ribs to break up some of the stiffness that might be caused between the ribs there. And you can feel that you can really breathe deeper when you do that. A third one I love is this ball, is to actually put this right into the belly. Some people are a little squeamish about this. And it's a fun exercise. Kelly Starrett from Mobility WOD talks about this as a gut smashing. And you literally are doing that. Is if you can put the ball right under your belly and just let your body sink down into it. And you can shift side to side, like a little bit to the side, and you'll get a little more of the side, waist, and abdominal muscles there. And if you go, as you get deep into it, you actually get that front of the psoas muscle, which is often too tight in most people. So those are a few exercise things that you can do whenever you want to create more mobility in your body. But oftentimes when we are living our lives, especially like I am right now on vacation, I don't want to spend all day long on a foam roller, on a ball, and doing all my exercises. I want to just live my life. So how can I bring more motion and mobility and movement into my life? And here's one example that I was playing with this weekend. I have this beautiful bed here that I could have been sleeping in. Or what I did and experimented with is I brought this bed onto the floor. Why did I do that? Well, when I get onto the ground, I'm experiencing a harder surface. And that hardness of the surface is feedback into my body. It pushes into my ribs and into my back and into my legs, and get that squish into my tissues of my body there from the floor is like getting a massage in a way. Oftentimes that's one of the reasons why people feel a little sore after sleeping on a hard surface. And because you've actually mobilized your body a little bit more. And so I got some really great stretches and massage in a way just by sleeping on the floor. And you might look at this in our entire environment. What we've done is we often have sort of casted or immobilized a lot of our body by sleeping on a soft bed, which doesn't change the shape of my body at all. Likewise, the padding in my shoes doesn't actually allow my feet and my foot bones to feel the input of the ground and change the shape of my feet. And the same thing also happens in our couches and our chairs. There's nothing that's really pushing back into our body to help keep our body flexible and mobile. So yes, you could stretch and do all the exercises that you need to do to mobilize your body, but just maybe start to think about your environment and see if you were just to experiment with your body, with your environment a little bit, you can start bringing in more mobility into your body without having to do exercise. And it's kind of fun to play with. So I hope you play with some of that, and I'll see you next week. Have fun.